थोड़ा टाइमर लगा
धर्मेंद्र
बोलो कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो।
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Today is the second day of International Faculty Development Program and organized by Srimati S.P. Patel Institute of Business Management, Sakachand Patel University. So for the second day, we are introducing our first guest speaker, who is Professor Dr. Rajkumar Singh, who is serving as professor and HOD Department of Commerce in SMS Varanasi School of Management Science, which is NAAC A-grade accredited self-finance autonomous institution by the UGC. SMS Varanasi is amongst top 50 leading B school in India. SMS Varanasi is affiliated with the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, and Mahatma Gandhi Kashi Vidyapeeth, Varanasi. SMS Varanasi has been recognized as autonomous institution by the University Grant Commission, Government of India, and has been given 12B and 2F status. Professor Singh is professor and member of Academic Council, Head of Research and Department and Head of Department of Commerce in SMS Varanasi, Chairperson of Center for Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Skill Development, Chairperson of Center for Advanced Research and Development, Chairperson Board of Studies, Chairperson of Center for International Relations, Chairperson of Center for Public Policy Development, Coordinator of Consultancy and MDP Cell, Coordinator of International Cell, Coordinator of AACSB International Accreditation Committee, Secretary of Executive Committee on Sponsored Research Project and Industrial Consultancy, Senior Member of IQAC, NAAC, NBA and NRIF team of SMS Varanasi, President of Institution in Innovation Council of SMS Varanasi, an initiative of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Professor Singh has also been appointed as Associated Dean, Innovation and Incubation by the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Professor Singh is also founder, managing editor of ISSN referred, peer blind reviewed, indexed journal, SMS Journal of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, published by the School of Management Science in Varanasi. Dr. Professor Rajkumar Singh has also done MBA Institute of Management Studies, BHU, PhD from VBS Purvanchal University, UGC Net Management, PG Diploma in Export Management, PG Diploma in Journalism and Mass Communication, and CYP. Professor Singh is University Grant Commission Merit Scholarship holder for being topper in BSU. Professor Singh has PhD topic, a study of strategic issues of brand management in the healthcare sector with special reference to the Varanasi city. He possesses around 30 years of academic and industrial experiences. Before joining academics, he has served the corporate world for over 20 years as a management professional in the field of consumer durables, FMCG, and pharmaceutical sectors in the various leadership roles like CEO and group general manager in different national and multinational companies. Professor Singh is also a startups mentor of startups of IIM Kashipur, Foundation of Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development, Advisory Board of International Center for Business Research and Innovation of KIIT University Bhubaneswar. So now I would like to hand over the mic to Dr. Professor Rajkumar Singh for entrepreneurship education in context to Industry 4.0. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. Hope my voice is clear to you. Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Pranam, audible.
Okay. No, pranam. So first I would like to express my gratitude to the Principal Professor Jayashi S. Dattaji, Professor Pradeep Mishaji, the FDP convener, for inviting me this International FDP. And the task given to me is to have my deliberation on entrepreneurship education in context to Industry 4.0. First, I would like to have some light on why we need this entrepreneurship education and why in Industry 4.0 context. From last 10 years, I have seen that entrepreneurial education canvas has changed a lot. Those who are the senior academicians present here must be knowing that before 10 years, normally the paper of entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship development were not taken very seriously. It was taken very for granted. But after 2014, I realized that focus has been changed. Now there is a lot of focus on this part because the nation is realizing that entrepreneurship is important. Recently, Government of India has announced that at any case, whether it's of any party, it's any political party, not more than 2.5% of the job can be given by the government. So that job will be provided by the private sector. And obviously, the job seekers are more and the job providers are less. Now, if you see this NAP 2020, lot of things has been changed, lot of things has been emphasized to change, and lot of things are yet to get implemented. But since the topic is having one term, Industry 4.0, I hope you all are clear about that. Industry 4.0, or you can say it's the fourth industrial revolution, to make the industry more smart, more digitalized, lot of use of the AI, machine learning, IoT, etc., has to be used. But issue with this Industry 4.0 is that our education system is quite irrelevant if you see from that point of view. Although the things are changing very fastly, and to cope up with the human resource requirement of the Industry 4.0, we need the education 4.0. This is a very pertinent aspect. Now, if you see this entire Indian demography, 60% of our population is youth. We call it a population dividend. But on the other hand, if you examine the different reports, whether it's of AICT or it's ASSOCHAM or FICCI, more or less, they are of the same opinion that not more than 20% of the students are employable. Means these youth, only 20% can be provided job. Rest 80% are having the degree, but they cannot be provided job. This is a big issue. This is a big issue. And leave the entrepreneurial education that we'll discuss later on. Even the employability quotient is small, quite small. The scope of Indian economy is increasing. As we all know, we are the 5th largest economy. We are moving towards becoming the 3rd largest economy, having the 5 trillion economy, all these things. There is a deviation of the international partners from China to India. They want to come here. They want to have a lot of scope here. Recently, you may have heard about the Tesla entry, where a precondition was let down that you have to manufacture here. Not only you have to market here, other you have to manufacture here also. Earlier, they were of the thinking that they will manufacture in China and they will market here. But now a situation has come, and it's a good situation, that India has started laying down their condition. So it's good. When they will come, obviously, initial stage, lot of confusion were there. That what will happen to the made in India? Because when we say made in India, it's a growth of the indigenous industries of India. But when we say make in India, means the companies from different part of the world will come in India and manufacture over here. But now if you link these two terms, this will be in benefit of both make in India as well as made in India, because when these big companies will come here, they will need the MSMEs also to make their spare parts, to make their accessories, to make those things, because maximum of the industries are, we are assembling industry. Take the case of the automobile industry also, it's basically assembling industry. So they are the original equipment manufacturers. And these MSMEs can play a vital role. India is having more than 6 crore of MSME base, implying around 50% of the employment, 50%, more than 50% of the export, earning the foreign exchange. So this becomes pertinent. But again, the same issue will come from where the human resource will come. Whether the present human resource is skilled enough. It is estimated, recently I saw one data by the ASSOCHAM, that within 10 years, the present skill set will be obsolete. You require new skill set. And this we are realizing. New technology has entered in our home. Just I will take a very simple example. 10 years back, when we discussed about the drone technology, the only utility were coming in our mind that drone technology used for spying. But now you see, even in a marriage function also, the normal video photography has been replaced by the drone photography. In agriculture, the insecticide and pesticide spraying is done through the drone technology. So things are changing, and skill sets are also changing. Newer and newer opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities also come. And how this will be done? Entrepreneurial scenario, I would like to share you one thing. That within 5 years, the 90% startups get failed. You can see at present also so many big companies like Baidu, Sola, what is their situation? And why they get failed? When it comes to 10 years, only 1 to 2% of the success rate is there. So the issue is very big. And we need to work on the triple helix model where the industry, academia, and government has to work together. Academia cannot do all the things alone. Entrepreneurial education is not like other education. It is not a theoretical context, just you take a book and you read the things and remember the definitions and types and characteristics and that will. It's a different approach. See, academia, as we all know, it is having a 4 pillars, major pillars. First pillar, as you all know, the classroom teaching and learning process, which we do as a core academician. Second is the ornament of academia, which is called the research and development. And third, the application of the academia to the development of industry, the training and consultancy. And fourth is the academic administration. So in any academician's life, these 4 dimensions are very. Now this is a matter of our own evaluation, how much we are contributing in which direction, honestly and sincere. But when it comes to the entrepreneurial education, all these 4 aspects are involved very closely. We have to see that in a classroom teaching learning process, because it is not possible that in every educational institution, the faculty must be having an industrial background or industrial exposure. But at least they should have an inclination towards entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not a subject. Let it be very clear. It's an application. When you talk about the entrepreneurship, you have to apply everything, whatever has been taught earlier in the functional dimensions like marketing, finance, HR, operation, etc., etc. So teaching learning process, maximum use of the case studies, involving the students in making the business plans, incubating them, those who really want to become the entrepreneur. Because I have given you one data that only 20% are employable, whatever these big bodies are saying. But whether these 80% are totally unemployable, my question is this. And this is my experience. I hope you will also agree with me that we have seen majority of students who are not very good in study, they become very good entrepreneurs. Because there is a gap, what we are teaching and what is actually required. And they have become an excellent entrepreneur. It's my personal experience. So we have to understand this gap. At the same time, the training and consultancy direction should also be the same. We have started one MSME clinic here since I've been associated with the Center for Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Skill Development. And we are providing, since I've been from the corporate background, so we are providing free of cost consultancy to the neighboring MSME units, which are ailing or sick units. So whether our education is extended to the people who are needing such kind of, because they cannot afford a consultant, they don't have that much of money. Are we providing a training to these people who are the MSMEs around us to how to run the industry in a much better way? Because as an academician, we are expert in management, we are expert in IT technology, we are expert in engineering. How can we relate and coordinate and cooperate with them? These are few of the dimensions. Now, real issue is how our classrooms are operating. Because the basic issue with all the teachers are that to mold the mindset of the students. Because a student has been so much exposed with the social media and IT applications that many times they think that teachers are irrelevant. Whatever I need, that is present on Google. That's a big issue, a really big issue. They are unable to understand that this is information technology. On Google, you will find information, but synthesizing that information into knowledge is the job of a teacher. Further synthesizing that knowledge to wisdom is again a job of a teacher. So our job is to act like a catalyst, as a synthesizer. So challenge is with us. Since this is a faculty development program, we all are faculty, we all are teachers. Fundamentally, we all are teachers. So this is a platform where we have to introspect these dimensions. That converting the information to knowledge and knowledge to wisdom, and the vehicle will be the skill of a teacher as well as skill of a student. These are very important. Just one example. If you take a recipe of a famous cook from internet, that is an information. But from that recipe, you cannot make a good food because this is a knowledge. And how will you make that good food is your skill. And when you understand this entire phenomena, you develop a wisdom. So this journey from information to wisdom, the onus of responsibility is on our shoulder, the shoulder of the teachers. That's a tough task. Again, I'm saying this is not that easy, because nowadays this is a nation-wide or rather international issue of motivating the students to come to the classroom. It's a big challenge now. So we have to make ourselves very pertinent, very relevant, very updated. Otherwise, students will not respect us. Our knowledge level should be more than. And this will only happen when we will act as a knowledge seeker also. Because we use this term teaching learning process. Normally the perception comes that we are teaching, we as a teacher are teaching, and students are learning. My opinion is somewhat different. I feel, no doubt, we are teaching, but we both are learning. We have to learn from them, their psychology, what their thought process is. Unless we understand that, empathize that, we cannot make them involved in this entire process. We have to do the mapping. Who are the students who are having this entrepreneurial zeal? Because normally what happens, our education system is based upon the numbers, percentage, gradings, and we come to a conclusion that if a student is having this much of CGPA, he is a good student, or if it doesn't have this much of number, he or she is a bad student. We have to change this thought process. Majority of the problem comes, there's a lack of communication or absence of communication. This we normally feel in the classroom. If you are teaching a subject and then say that, okay, you understand everything, do you have any problem, do you have any question? Majority of cases, nobody raised their hands. But if you ask them a question, they won't reply. This is a common phenomenon. This happens in the life of every academician. If you remember this, our Indian knowledge system, there was a provision of Shastrartha. Shastrartha means it was a discourse. Many often people say it was a religious discourse, but that religious discourse doesn't mean in a very, if you interpret in a different context of religion. Religion was a different. When we call a dharma, religion is not the exact translation of dharma. Dharma is the duty. Duty of a king, duty of the citizen, duty of the family, duty of the members. So discourses where goes on to explore the knowledge. Exploration knowledge. Nowadays we use a very modern term, brainstorming session. Actually, that was the same thing. But how this discourse moves on, how this exploration of knowledge moves on. What was the vehicle? The vehicle was the prashna, pratiprashna, and pariprashna. Pariprashna means you ask a question from the student, and a student should be having the ability to answer that and ask you a counter question, or it may happen vice versa. That is the pratiprashna. And when you reply that counter question, again another question comes, that is the pariprashna, the supplementary question. And this is the way the entire journey of discourse goes on. So when this issue comes in mind that, okay, if I'm teaching this batch of suppose students, how many are having this ability of entrepreneurship? You have to discuss with them. Many times, what my personal experience is, the students who are having the entrepreneurial ability, they are not very much responding in the classroom, but if you interact them personally, they will respond to you very positively and very openly. So we have to develop a personal rapport with them and educate them that this is the requirement of industry 4.0 or 4.0. Whether you are serving there as an employee or you want to start your own business, you need these things to make your business smart. And this is the way the journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning goes on. We are a teacher. We can give only those things which we are having. If you have money in your bank, only then you can give. So if we are having that process of learning, unlearning, and relearning, only then we can provide this to our students. So if you want to make our students entrepreneurs, we have to expose ourselves with the industry. We need to interact with the entrepreneurs. Try to visit some MSME units, meet with their owners, and one of my practice is always there. Since Professor Pradeep Mishra is with me on the social media, so he must be saying, I regularly invite the MSME people to my institute. Because big industry professionals, no doubt, their experience is also very important. But they are not facing that kind of problem which an MSME unit faces. Since I served a quite big time with the MSME units, and now as a consultant also I'm advising them, so I know their problems very well. So we have to have that kind of inputs with us. Definitely that will help us in our teaching learning processes. If you provide the case studies of big companies, it's good. But how much case studies has been developed with the MSMEs? This is the need of hour. And if you discuss these MSME case studies, it will give a different insight. Because what I learned from the MSMEs, the successful MSMEs, because this is a journey, an industry start from the micro, then small, then medium, then big. What I feel that it's good that all motivational speakers do the same thing. We also do the same thing. and how to get success, how to get success, how to get success. But we never guide them how to face failure. Because the journey of success comprises of various phases of failures. So if anybody is successful, you are seeing him or her as a successful person, his entire journey will have a different phases of failures also. This we should understand. In our life also the same kind of things are happening. Because ultimately the perception is that the success graph is like this. It is not like that. It's like this, exactly. Entrepreneur's journey is also the same. So nowadays, what my observation is, and those who are eminent faculties of management and commerce, they must be knowing that nowadays the companies overnight become the unicorn. They want to become the unicorn and they get fundings also. There's no issue of funding nowadays. Luckily, from my center, every year 2-3 startups comes and I promote them on the social media also. From last 7 years, I'm incubating. There is no failure. There is no failure because problem appears when a startup comes, when they have to scale up, the real issue comes. You may have seen in the last 4 or 5 years, many startups has made a very good success, no doubt, but their scale up rate was quite high. I always tell my startup students 4-point formula, and this is the formula of their success. Think big, start small, grow gradually, and grow globally. Think big, always think big. All the big companies, they think big, but they started small. Whether you take the case of Amazon or Flipkart or any company, or the Reliance, they all have started very humbly, very small beginning, but their vision was big. And grow gradually. Nowadays, we are seeing they are growing very abruptly, very fastly. Because see, in any entrepreneur's life, risk is inevitable. We say that entrepreneurial elements, land, labor, capital, risk-taking ability, entrepreneurial ability. Risk is inevitable. But you have to take calculated risks. So when you move gradually, you can manage your risk. Risk will be there. You may suffer some losses, but some loss only, not big loss. And grow globally, the entire world is waiting for you. Entire world is looking towards India. We are having 140 crore population, I think number one. Although I'm not very proud of that. But yes, this has given a lot of opportunities also, lot of problems also. India has emerged as the biggest market in the world. But when we talk of the entrepreneurial education, one area we forget. We forget the rural entrepreneurs. If you remember exactly, during the COVID time, all of a sudden, April 2020, we started seeing on television that people started coming, since lockdown was there, so people started coming barefoot to their villages just for their survival. They were having the opinion that if they will come to their village, their life will be saved. I was also seeing that scenario and a lot of things were happening, a lot of controversies were happening. So being a student of management, a question has come in my mind that around 70 5 years of independence, what went wrong? What went wrong with our development model? Entrepreneurship is not in vacuum. You have to understand entrepreneurship, you have to understand the entire development model, entire Indian economy or world economy. A person who is serving in these big metropolitan cities from 10 years, 15 years, and they don't have money for next 2-3 months. Just for the survival. Why? If you study the entire development model of India, it was confined to few big cities, which we call now the metropolitan cities or tier A grade cities. 70% of our population is living in villages. We all are from villages. We are connected with some village. We or our father. From childhood, we have been told that if you want to get success, you have to go to these big cities. Name it. New Delhi, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Kolkata, Chennai, etc. If you take the name of these big cities, you can count on your fingers. Maybe 50, maybe 20, that's all. I was just studying one paper, and it was rightly mentioned that looking to the growth of the Indian economy, Indian society, the population, at present, we should have at least 150 cities which can generate this job opportunities for our people. But it has not happened. These big cities were treated as an island. And every island is having a saturation point. These were the island of developments. After a certain period of time, these islands will saturate. And where the people will go? Obviously, there will be a social conflict, there will be economic conflict, there will be a centralization of the wealth. These issues will arise. Nowadays also we are talking about the smart cities. Why not the smart villages? To make the nation smart, we have to work on both parts, the smart cities as well as smart villages. And for that, the only way is to make India a country with maximum number of rural entrepreneurs. Although the time is not too much, but I would like to give you one case study, must be knowing about that, of Kaushalya Foundation. The Mr. Kauslesh Kumar, he has basically studied from IIM Ahmedabad. He was topper of IIM Ahmedabad. And after completion of his MBA program from IIM Ahmedabad, he has left the job. You know, IIM Ahmedabad people get job with the very astronomical figures. He basically belongs to Patna in Bihar. And he came to Bihar and he has realized one thing. He studied somewhere in the research paper that on an average yearly consumption of the insecticide, pesticide, and so many toxic materials in big cities, the capital cities by an average Indian, is around 3 kilogram to 5 kilogram. And out of that, the insecticide and pesticide, etc., fungicide, etc., is having a major share. So he promoted the farmers that you grow the organic fruit and vegetables and will provide you the market. Because every farmer is a micro entrepreneur. If you go with the classical definition of entrepreneurship, They are having the land. They employ their own labor. They employ their own capital. And who take more risk than a farmer? Rather, they live in the life of uncertainty. Only thing which they don't have is the entrepreneurial ability. They want to grow, but they don't know how to do the marketing. And here, the majority of people, majority of students comes from the rural area. We have to motivate them that you can shake hand with the farmers as Kaushlesh Kumar has done. He took the, because the fruit and vegetables which are organically grown, it is little bit costlier than the normal. He convinced the people that by consumption of these insecticide and pesticide, how many diseases you are facing and how much of money you are wasting for the treatment. So if a farmer is charging 10% more, you can afford it and you can save your body, you save your health, save your life. And you'll be surprised to know, you can search on Google also, around 35 to 40,000 of the farmers' family from the Bihar and Jharkhand are now associated with the Kaushalya Foundation. So you can very well understand, if one family, if you take average 5 people, more than 2 lakh people are getting benefit from a single man approach. If a single man can do this thing, can provide job to or employment or livelihood to 2 lakh people, if our youths will come to this approach, a miracle will happen. And now the onus of responsibility is on our shoulder to motivate them, to tell them that how much scope is over there. Then you will not see any case of the reverse migration or migration. Rather, you will see the reverse migration more than the migration. So these are the various aspects. Situation is becoming better and better. World Bank, every year we are releasing, till 2020 they have released Ease of Doing Business Index. And just in 2014, our position was quite bad. Out of 190 countries, our position was 142. But in 2020, this has improved to 63. After 2020, the World Bank has not released any report because there was a pressure from China to upgrade their position in an unethical way. So World Bank has decided to not publish the report again. But if you believe that report, 63 position, it's good that we have improved from 142 to 63 within 7 years. But still, I'm not happy because 62 countries are still ahead of us. Being the 5th largest economy, we should be in top 5 at least. But again, the situation has improved a lot. And students should feel that they are having an ample scope nowadays. Every university is opening incubation centers. Every big institutions are opening incubation centers. I hope in your university also there must be an incubation center. And from this platform, I would like to assure everyone that if there will be an incubation center or any student is being incubated there or to start their startup venture, I'm here to help them without charging a single. Because motivating these youths are the need of the nation. And we teachers are fundamentally a nation builders. My father was a school teacher, then he became the principal of Kendriya Vidyalaya BHU. I've seen him at that time. What was his role? We have to understand our role is very important. In spite of all adversities, we have to perform our role in a very positive, very constructive manner. But at the same time, there is another dimension. Although situation of ease of doing business has improved a lot, but I've given you another example. The startup success rate. This is not very good. And one of the reason, apart from the other things, one of the reason I found that lack of innovation. Innovation is first. We may criticize China in different ways, but I think two things we should learn from China. If anything is good, we should take it. Chinese product, if you see, durability is one aspect, but one thing is there, they are very innovative. And second, they are cheap in price. So price control they have done through the mass economies of scale production, utilizing this economies of scale in their production process. And innovation they have got. Although on a global innovation index out of 131 countries, by 2018, our position was not very good. It was around 110. But just global innovation index has reached. Last year also position was 40. This year also position is 40. So we have improved a lot from 110 to 40, but now it is stagnant. That stagnancy, and again I'm saying when we are a fifth largest economy, we should be in top 5 countries so far as the innovation is concerned. In the NAP, the National Research Foundation has been made. Government is emphasizing a lot on innovation and all these things. But why we are not growing in that? Although through social media we come to know many patents we are having, many patents are being applied, many patents are being published and granted. But I would like to share you one figure, and I think this figure will give you all the idea. That out of 100 patents, less than 2 patents are really converted into a commercially viable product in the market. Rest 98% patent is simply on paper. Because if you cannot convert a patent, because in the deciding of the global innovation index, the patent is having a very major role. And in our education system also, in NAC and other areas also, in our appraisal also, this patent is playing a very vital role. But whether this patent is being really converted to a feasible, viable product to serve the society, serve the environment, serve an individual, serve the industry or not? This is a big question. And whether this patent can be used for the development of the micro, small and medium enterprises. We need to be keen on. We need to be keen on that part. Because on behavioral front, many times because of lack of the communication, they start to get free. Because they are having a Me Too idea or a copycat idea. They get funding from somewhere, they start a business, when they scale up, and when the size grows, geographically they expand, then because innovation is a very dynamic process. So customer or consumer want different innovative products at different phase of time. And what happens? When they get failed, they get disappointed. The entrepreneurs has to become the role model of the society. And when they get failed, we only give the example of their failure. I am giving you the example of failure. But again, I'm saying that these 2-3% of the whole of the nation, if one person like Austrias Kumar can change the life of 2 lakh people, we can have a numerous Austrias Kumar. Because we focus more on the intelligence quotient, that is IQ. But we have to work on the social quotient also, the emotional quotient also. Only then the adversity quotient of these entrepreneurs will increase. We invite guest lectures from the big corporate professionals. Although I normally avoid giving my personal examples, but I did some experimentation, and I would like to share that only that if you feel that it's okay, you can use this in your organization also, your institution also. Issues of the role model, as I've said. We got some DST projects, and each year, every year, we have to organize some entrepreneurship development program, entrepreneurship awareness program. So normally big corporate world or some big entrepreneurs. So when I started my incubation center, after 2-3 years, I was having a chunk of entrepreneurs from my own center. So I decided that instead of, if I'm inviting 4 entrepreneurs, 2 entrepreneurs will be from outside and 2 will be from our own institution who has started their venture. If they've run their venture 2-3 years successfully, they are having their own story. So they should share their story with the students. And I did another experiment that I given them honor to sit on dais. And I sit in front of them on sofa. I wanted to give message to the other students that if you're an entrepreneur, you can be honored within 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Because in a corporate, you have to, big corporate, if you join, you become vice president or president after 15, 20 years. And this has given a very positive message. And the students started seeing their seniors as a role model. So we have to change this conception of role model. When our students who are entrepreneurs, they become the role model, obviously the others will follow them. But before this, as I discussed earlier, what was the objective of this discourse? Discourse is to allow them to come up with their ideas, their innovative ideas, and make the business plans. Every year we organize the business plan contest, and those institutions who are the member of the Institution Innovation Council of Ministry of Education, I think it's a very easy process. You all can become, those who have not become. They are having a series of activities. So please do that. This will create an innovation ecosystem, entrepreneurial ecosystem in your institution. And I always used to say to my students that be a keen observer. Opportunities are lying everywhere. The successful entrepreneurs don't do the new things. They do the things in a newer way. I'll just take the case of Flipkart. In the e-commerce model, they have entered, and many companies are now there. So earlier also the product was available, but they worked on a 3C model: choice, convenience, and cost. So if you go with these platforms, whether it's Amazon or Flipkart or Meesho or like other platforms, you are having a choice of products, and you are having a convenience to choose. Because what happens if you go physically to purchase the product? Every city is having a limitation. I am living in Varanasi, I am also having a limitation. In your cities also you may have some limitation. Beyond certain range, you will not find the product. So you are having a choice on these kind of platforms. Convenience there, you just order them and that will be delivered to you within a week or so. And your cost is also being saved. Normally, we talk about the cost of the product, but we don't calculate the cost of purchasing that product. If you go to market, you use your vehicles, your petrol, your diesels, your time, all these things. So cost of purchasing on these three model, C model, these all different business model has become successful. So we have to tell our students that think like a consumer first. Only then you can develop the empathy. Because we don't just sell product or service, they actually sell solution. And they have to work on the innovation management. When they are having an innovative idea, it is not just an idea. This will have to be translated into a project. So you must be having the ability, means the student must having the ability to justify that project by doing all these feasibility analysis and other things. And here our role as a teacher comes. If a new technology is coming, we have to tell them that, okay, where you can apply the AI. You must be knowing in agriculture, the AI-based tractor has been improved, has been introduced. So where the applications of these modern technologies are there and how you can develop them. And real issue is how to scale up them. Because if this entire innovation process, if you see, nowadays a terminology has come, you must be knowing, the design thinking or the design innovation process. In a classroom discussions, by giving the various examples, we have to make them clear that any innovation has three important ingredients or three important factors of pillars, you can say. One, very important, is the technological feasibility. You will not use a smartphone if it is very complicated. So product must be technologically feasible. Second, the technology has to understand the usability and desirability of a human value. Nano was an excellent case of innovation, no doubt, but it got failed. It got failed because they have done the quantitative research, but they have not done the qualitative research properly. Nano was made for class family. The aspiration of car is different. Still in India, the middle class families see car as a part of their status, a part of their status symbol. And when the term Laktakia was used again and again in the media, we don't use the Taka word in Indian context, especially in the Hindi belt, in a very positive way. So we have to understand this human value system. Normally we think that because by industry 4.0, everything has to be digitalized, but where is the human value system? That's why the new term is in a process of coin, that industry 5.0. We have to make product, we have to digitalize it, but we don't have to lose the human touch, human emotions, human sentiment. And same thing is happening in the education also. There is one of my study, based on my experience, maybe the same is with you also, that after COVID, the behavior aspect of the student has changed a lot. Now they become more mechanical, more mechanized. Their thought process, everything they want on the WhatsApp, everything want on the email. They want to avoid the personal interaction. So human values, usability and desirability has to be very clear. Any business model will not success if they don't have the human value, usability and desirability. And by combining these two aspects, we have to tell our students the business value. Because ultimately it's a business. This will go in the market and they have to earn money. They have to earn profit. So when technology and human values are fused, a fusion takes place, then the design and interactivity will become important. When you make a feasible technology and understand the business viability, then your manufacturing process should be in that way. And when the business viability and human value has to be taken together, then the organizational behavior has to be in that way. So these three elements, when they combine together, then the design innovation process starts. And at the same time, we have to develop the design thinking process among the students, which starts, first step is the empathy. Empathize. In Hindi, there is a beautiful word because every word in English normally don't give that kind of essence or feeling. It's got some Vedana. I hope in this is a common word. Some Vedana means understanding the Vedana or the pain of others as your own Vedana or your own pain. That's why they must be keen observer. They should experience the things. We have to be more in the society than the social media. Social media is not society. So we have to be more in the society than the social media.
Bajma the models.
Some technical glitches were there. So the farmer asked a very innocent question that those who belongs to villages, they must be knowing that now the situation has improved, but earlier at that time the situation was not very good. Electricity were not coming in a proper way in the villages. So farmers to go to late night when the electricity comes for the irrigation purpose. So he just asked a very innocent question that if our television can have a remote control, do these agriculture pump can have a remote control? So obviously the villagers started laughing on him. But Kirloskar people took it very seriously. And they given this feedback to their R&D division. And they developed agriculture pump with the remote control. But as you all know, remote control is having some limitation that it can work only to a certain extent, certain limit, certain distance. With the coming of the smartphone technology of the GSM, the Texmo pump has come. Another is a leading company from Coimbatore. It's one of the leading companies in the field of agriculture pump. And they come with that GSM technology that, okay, from here, you can, even your pump is there in America, you can control that. What I want to say that farmers may be economically poor, but they are not idea-wise poor. So we have to understand that these ideas may come from anywhere. And obviously in the design thinking process, you develop the prototype, test the marketing, implement. But doing all these things, this screening of the ideas become very. And at the same time, the educational institutions are having a great responsibility with the help of the teachers to develop the innovation ecosystem. For development of innovation, we need the people with the skill, with the leadership, with the accountability. We have to give the recognition. And institution policy, because triple helix model, the government, industry, and academia, they have to work together. So government is also coming with so many policies. Institution has to make certain policies so that they can match with each other to make a proper strategy. They can measure the performances of innovation and have a proper governance. They have to do the process innovation through the experimentation, through adopting of the new technology, through the forestation. And this will develop a climate where the policy will be there, the people will be there, the process will be there, the climate will be there. And one very important aspect, and that is a business plan. Many times I've seen that people enter in the business without having a business plan. This is the basic issue with the startups. So please organize business plan contests every year, 1 or 2 or 3 times. Invite some good experts from industry, from academia, from government institutions, from banks, so that they can evaluate and make sure that the business plan is basically a feasible and viable plan. This can be implemented. It's very innovative. And of course, the incubation center has to play a very important role. This is the only place where the industry, academia, and government can interact with each other. Nowadays, the government is funding for the incubation program. And incubation center has to work properly for the selection or the pre-incubation of the incubators. They're launching their growth. Because incubation center is one place which has the incubators, the startup residents in their mentoring, in providing the technical assistance, in development of the IPR, intellectual property right, is a very important part. Students should know about it. Is not just a legal matter, rather the industry people should know more about it, about the patents, about the copyrights, about the trademarks, about the geographical indicators. Incubation center have them